Hey guys, so a press conference was just held regarding missing 4-year-old Javeyah Harris out of Aiken County, South Carolina. Authorities have confirmed that her parents have both been arrested in connection with her death. 23-year-old Johmarea Harris and 22-year-old Michilae Herring. They're both being charged with homicide by child abuse and filing a false police report. Authorities said that they have evidence to suggest that Javeyah has been deceased for at least a month and that the night of the 911 call was made strategically in an effort to not get caught lying to authorities. Authorities did say that they're currently searching an area of interest for her body. It's outside of Aiken County. They did not disclose where the area is, but they did say that the search for her body is going to be difficult if her body is ultimately where they think it is. Unfortunately, this is an outcome that I think we were all kind of expecting based on the parents' behavior recently, especially them speaking of her in the past tense.
I want to begin with Ryan Lynch, who joins us now in the studio. He's been following the bond hearing for Javeyah's parents all day. Ryan?
Yes, Kim. Her mother, Michilae Herring, was in bond court this morning, and her father, Javeyah Harris, appeared this afternoon. Both parents showed up today without lawyers. The judge started to qualify both parents for a court-appointed attorney, but neither met the requirements and were denied. Bond was also denied for the two suspects because of the severity of the charges. The charges of homicide by child abuse could mean 20 years to life in prison for the parents. Herring also faces a charge of filing a false police report, which could come with a fine or up to 5 years in prison. Bond will be determined at a higher court in the next 30 days. And Javeyah's father and her mother have court dates set for September.
Sheriff Marty Sawyer. And we're gathered here, and I'm gathered here with all these law enforcement partners to make the hardest announcement that I've ever had to make in my 36 years career in law enforcement. I'm deeply saddened to tell you that our investigation and evidence leads us to believe that 4-year-old Javeyah Harris is deceased. It's the outcome that we all feared, and sadly, it's the outcome that we must face. We'll have to face it together as a community. Our search for Javeyah drives on. We are continuing to put massive law enforcement resources to work to recover Javeyah and bring her home. We all hoped and prayed to find her alive. But it's extremely important to bring her home to her family, and it's important to bring her home for us. We are currently searching an area of interest right now, not in Aiken County, and I am not disclosing where that's at. But I'm sure you understand, if in fact Javeyah's body is where we think it is, it's going to be a difficult time for everybody there. And we don't need anybody from the outside of law enforcement, trying to access that area. Today I'm announcing that we have arrested Javeyah's parents. We've arrested her dad, 23-year-old Johmarea Harris, and her mom, 22-year-old Michilae Herring, for homicide by child abuse and filing a false police report. Additional charges may be forthcoming. We'll figure that out as the investigation goes further. We have spoken to Javeyah's extended family, and we'd ask that you respect their privacy. We can only imagine what they're going through. We put every resource available to find Javeyah and to bring her home safely. I want you to pay close attention to these next two sentences. This is very important. Sadly, the night of the 911 call on June 30th, when that call was made, it was already too late to save Javeyah. At this time, our investigation supports that she had been deceased for at least a month. I want to express my sincere gratitude to every law enforcement agency, local, state, and federal, and all of our volunteer fire departments in Aiken County who stood alongside us this whole journey for the past 3 or 4 days in this heat and long hours. There's too many agencies to name, but I am going to name a few that played the key role and supported the Aiken County Sheriff's Office in this operation. Special Agent in Charge, Kevin Moore with the FBI Field Office in Columbia. You'll hear from him in just a minute. Major Patterson with the South Carolina Highway Patrol. Chief Keel with the State Law Enforcement Division. Sheriff Rowland with the Edgefield County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Coon with the Lexington County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Boone with the Kershaw County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Gino Brantley with the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. And Chief Baranko and Johnson with the Aiken and North Augusta Department of Public Safety. A big thank you goes out to Paul Matthews of Aiken County Emergency Management, who opened this EOC for us at 4:30 Wednesday morning. And it's been manned ever since then. Aiken County EMS, Lexington County Fire Service, and for all the other sheriffs that's called me this week, offering support, encouragement, manpower, or equipment, whatever we needed. The professionalism, cooperation, and dedication demonstrated by everyone is nothing short of exceptional. Every agency brought valuable resources, specialized expertise, but most of all, an unwavering commitment to bring Javeyah home. Also, I want to thank you, the media, for covering our investigation, for helping spread Javeyah's picture to our community, in hopes of locating her. And finally, I want to thank our community. From the encouragement, patience, prayers, and support, all that means more to us as law enforcement and first responders than you'll ever know. We received an overwhelming amount of support, especially say thank you to Bethel Baptist Church, who's right around the corner from where this started. They opened their doors to us. They provided food, water, restrooms, and probably most importantly, air conditioning for those guys that were out in the woods searching. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Special Agent in Charge, Kevin Moore.
Thanks, Sheriff. And good morning. I'm Kevin Moore, Special Agent in Charge of the FBI's Columbia Field Office. And today, a family and this community are hurting from this tragedy, the loss of a 4-year-old Javeyah. We want to offer our sincerest condolences to Javeyah's loved ones and to this community. The men and women of the FBI have been here in Aiken County since the beginning, working alongside the Sheriff's Office and our law enforcement partners. With the information we had at the time, we put every available resource into finding Javeyah. That included dozens of FBI personnel who were part of the searches, the neighborhood canvasses, the digital media review, and interviews. We also had members of the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit, the Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team, and our technical experts involved. Whenever a child goes missing, it's a joint effort to find them, and the FBI works hand in glove to assist law enforcement agencies in doing so. It's heartbreaking that we are not standing here with better news. We want to thank the community for all the support, for the tips, and for showing compassion in trying to locate Javeyah. Thank you to our law enforcement partners. It's truly one team. Now we are all focused on pursuing justice for Javeyah, because that's what she deserves. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you, sir. Now I'm going to take a few questions, but understand this is still an active investigation that we are working as we speak and we stand here. So answers may be limited, or I may tell you I'm just not going to answer that question. So,
when did this investigation change from a search to a recovery? I know that we heard from you earlier this week about it being a missing person search. So where did that change and how did that change?
well, if you'll remember correctly, when I said that, I also said that there was another team doing an investigation off-site from out there here. After a certain amount of time, when we don't find somebody in a neighborhood that supposedly walked off, I don't want to get behind the 8 ball. The FBI was called quickly. They can always go back home, but I want them here as soon as we could get them. So to give you an exact point, I can't do that. The search team is doing their job. The team here is doing their job. And when we figured out she wasn't there anymore, is when we backed everybody out and focused on this.
You mentioned she had been deceased for at least a month. Can you share how that was determined?
No, ma'am. All right, thank you again. I know it's hot. We will have further updates as they come, either by another press conference or a press release. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe.